Good morning, Nash. My name's Gracie, and get ready with me for my last opening night here at North Allegheny. So this year's spring musical is called Children of Eden, which is something that a lot of people have never heard of, but it has a very interesting story. So the musical was written by Stephen Schwartz, who's also the same composer who wrote Wicked, which is something that is more well known to people. The entirety of the story is basically just parents watching their kids grow up and having to watch them leave the nest, and how it's a very bittersweet feeling for them. I think the story is a real tearjerker for parents mostly, because I don't think children would really understand the impact of having children and how much that really changes you as a person. And I mean, it's definitely very different from the past shows that we've done here at North Allegheny. I've been doing shows at NA since I was in 7th grade, my first one being Elf Jr. Okay, so for this next part, it might look like I'm about to put on too much blush, but that's what theater makeup is. Out of the 7 shows that I've been in here at NA, my favorite is without a doubt SpongeBob. SpongeBob was honestly just the most fun I've ever had in a production. It's where I met like some of my favorite people, some of my best friends, the people that I'm going to probably keep in contact with forever. Do you think I have enough blush? I don't know. I honestly think even as like both audience and a cast member, it's just an overall fun show. Like in the audience, who doesn't know SpongeBob? It's just enjoyable for all ages. Like I remember after the show was over running out to see everybody, and there were so many kids. There was just a bunch of children, and they were all so happy because they just saw some of their favorite characters perform on stage, and it was honestly just like a beautiful thing. With this show this year, we were definitely dealt a weird set of cards because our main director, Mr. Schmick, his wife had a baby, and so he near the end of rehearsals, he had to leave, obviously, and so everything was very rushed. However, like we always do, we fought through it, and our performance is now very good, and everybody is just so on top of it, and it turned out to be really good. I do feel the need to mention though, you know how in a musical, Act 2 is just a continuation of Act 1? Yeah, that's not Children of Eden. I mean, in a sense, it is. The first act is a telling of Adam and Eve and how they got kicked out of the garden, and then their children, and the story of that. But then in Act 2, there are completely different. Act 2 takes place many years later, the same generation of Adam and Eve, but it's a completely different story that's still, like, you had to have seen Act 1 to understand it, but at the same time, it doesn't take place exactly after Act 1, if that makes sense. My eyeshadow palette broke. I just got this. Anyways, something that I think is very interesting and unique about this musical is that the leads are not the same. Like, the leads that you see in Act 1 are not going to be the leads that you see in Act 2. For example, I am a lead in Act 2, and my best friend Madison Demector is a lead in Act 1. Don't mind me, I'm using a picture of me and my boyfriend at the Renaissance Fair to dry my setting spray. Anyways, honestly, that's what I think is just so unique and cool about this, is that in most Broadway shows, like, the leads, they're just all the same. You know, they're the same in Act 1 and they're the same in Act 2. But in this show, you get introduced to a whole different set of characters and people, and I just honestly think that's pretty cool. Today, and honestly this entire week, is just going to be an emotional roller coaster for me, because I've been doing these shows for 5 years now. This is what I want to do with my life, and this week is the last week that I'll be doing it with my favorite people in the whole world. Like, that's just, it's just crazy to me. It's something in my life that I never thought actually had to end, and now it is. This is my last opening night at North Allegheny. Anyways, this is my makeup look for Children of Eden, at least Act 1. In the second act, I add like a little bit of like a dark brown down here, and then yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching.